Welcome to My The Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. Today is Sunday. It's a beautiful Sunday, a hot Sunday at that. My goodness, 100 degrees outside, but it's all good. Today is Sunday's episode. We got an interesting thread for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy today's juicy little thread I got for you. This thread is, what's a secret you regret telling someone? So let's see what secrets you guys are regretting telling people out here in these streets. I once told my then best friend that I had a crush on a boy in our class. We were like 14 at the time and was trying to find the courage to tell him. After the weekend, she and him were suddenly together. Damn. That relationship didn't last long. Neither did our friendship. I never did confess to him in the end. Damn. That's messed up. She was like, oh shit, my friend is encroaching on my mans. I better go get him before she does. Dang, that's messed up. That's messed up. That's supposed to be your friend. All right, senior year of high school, I got to school late and was hustling through the parking lot past the football field when I witnessed a linebacker from the football team performing a certain act on the quarterback. These two were not out. Oh, all right. Not even close. One of my friends had been in love with the quarterback for years, like turning down other guys because she was waiting for him to notice her kind of love. So, like an idiot, I swore her to secrecy before letting her know what I saw. I reminded her not to tell anyone. She said she wouldn't. I honestly never thought she would. Her sister is gay, and she's also been super supportive of her, even convincing their conservative parents not to be dicks about it. She told everyone. Both guys just laughed it off like, oh yeah, Hunter and I are totally fucking. My friend and I saw them. I denied it. My friend was branded a liar. Obviously, that was the end of that friendship. As soon as we graduated, these two guys came out as a couple. Damn. They stayed together that long? Sheesh. That's crazy. That's crazy, though. Like, I guess maybe she was feeling a little petty and was just like, wow, the dude I like is out here liking the man butt. Like, I'm about to tell everybody. She got a little petty with it. Damn. All right, I used to work at a movie theater in college, and one day I went into the break room to find one of my coworkers sobbing. I asked her if she was okay. She spilled that she had found out she was pregnant and then miscarried. And being a teenager, she was just rolling with the emotions. Yo, I thought this was a grown-ass woman, man. Damn, she a teenager. Sheesh. I comforted her and told her I understood if she needed to talk. I told her that early that year, the same thing happened to me. I was terrified, in physical and emotional pain, relieved, guilty for feeling relieved, you name it. I made sure to mention that I hadn't told people about this because I felt it was nobody's business and was only sharing to let her know she was seen and that I was there for her. The next day, I was working the ticket booth when a different coworker came up to me and said, "Hey, is it true you had a miscarriage?" Wait, what? Jesus tap dancing Christ. I was so angry, especially because my little sister also worked there and I didn't need for her hearing about the gossip. Insult to injury was added later when I discovered that the coworker was a pathological liar and probably hadn't been pregnant in the first place. Damn.
Bruh.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up. She confided in this girl and she went ahead and told her business to everybody. That's fucked up. Damn. Sometimes, man, you just like, man, why be kind to people? You know, they gonna just stab you in the back. That's crazy. Every single bit of confidential information I've ever told my sister has either been spread around or turned against me, frequently distorted in the process. Consequently, I haven't told her a secret since I was 16. Damn. You know, facts. Sometimes there are just things you can't tell people because you got a big mouth and you be flapping them lips all over town. Like, no, thank you. I shared a personal goal and now I feel pressured to achieve it quickly. Facts. That's why a lot of times I don't be telling people things, like people that I'm close with or that I know, that I do certain things, because I'm just like, yo, because then there's an expectation on it, and it's like, why are you putting all this pressure on me? It's like, no, man. Like, especially when, you do something as a hobby that you enjoy and it's fun, and then they look at it like, oh my god, they could make so much money doing it, they're so talented, and you're just like, whoa, hold on, where's all this expectation coming from? I'm doing this for fun, like, please stop ruining it. Like, that shit happens a lot of times, and I don't think they intend to make you feel that way, but it does in the back of your mind. I told my ex-girlfriend early on in our relationship that I had previously had a threesome before we met. She brought it up at the most random times and used it against me. Oh, man. See, that's why sometimes you don't tell them things. Sometimes you gotta Ray Charles that shit and just be like, wait, what? Huh? I was an innocent little sheep before you. You taught me so much. You know what I mean? Because, man, they gonna pull that shit out on you quick. I shared about my boss harassing me work side, and the person went behind my back and told my boss, yo. And the boss made sure to make my life hell. What? Shit, I would report for retaliation. I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I'd be mad at the person because I'm like, dude, I told you this in confidence. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, man, confidentiality ain't got no merits. That's crazy. All right, my ex and I were going to marital counseling many years ago after he had a number of one-night stands. Oh, shit. Yeah, I know I shouldn't have wasted my time on it, but I was a doormat back then. Anyway, in the counseling on being vulnerable with your partner, I shared the secret that my father had an affair when I was a child and how it affected me and the ways my family worked through it. After all, what is said in this room stays here, right? Not only was I a doormat, I was pretty effing stupid doormat. X managed to keep my secret to himself for exactly 3 days before he told our kids and their cousin on a family outing. How the hell do you tell a bunch of young kids something like that about their beloved grandfather? So I managed to screw up my own kids' relationship with their grandparents, as well as my niece and nephews. I don't know if my parents ever completely forgave me, which is of course why my ex did it. Wow. I mean, she didn't really say what it was, and that's cool. That's fine. I'm sure it was, something very out there, but I mean, for it to literally fuck up your kids' relationship with their own grandparents, that kind of sucks. Like, dude, at this point, you're not trying to get revenge on me. You're out here fucking up the kids too. Like, bruh. That's a little wild to me. Man. Hopefully she's in a better situation. Jeez. When I was in high school, I told a friend I had a huge crush on a guy that was in a relationship. She became my confidant about it, and I talked to her about him constantly in the way every 15-year-old talks about her crush. She went on and told his girlfriend everything. Yo, that's messy. Except she made it sound so much worse than it was. She probably made it seem like she's a stalker and like obsessed with this boy. That's crazy. That I was obsessed, facts, and stalking him, facts, and knew where he lived. He literally lived 2 doors down from another friend. It was hard to miss. I was mortified. The girlfriend clearly thought it was a hilarious and told everyone. Oh, damn, she was spreading it around like, yeah, you don't want to date Stacy over there because she'll stalk you and follow you home and know where you live. That's crazy. Thankfully, I had the guts to reach out to the guy in question and explain myself, as in, yes, I have a crush on you. No, I'm not stalking you, nor do I want to break up you and your girlfriend. And he was totally chill about it all and felt bad my friend did that. It turned into a friendship with him, and we're still friends over 20 years later. Friend who told him is long gone, as is the girlfriend. Oh shit, girl, now's your cue to get up in there. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you the only one left. I mean, now's your time to shine. I'm just saying. All right. Wow. About being, let's say, SA'd by a 2-year older friend at 11 that I knew since 4 or 5. It happened for 6 months in the summer between 5th and 6th grade. Told a niece finally after I got tired of playing his game and things went to hell. Details got mixed up when she told the adults, and all of the sudden the dude's parents are at the house. One of my sisters and I think her husband one of my sisters and I think her husband was there, and everyone is screaming and people are telling me I was lying about which brother did it to me. I don't know why. That I was lying in general. Never said anything to anyone. Years later, mom claims that she knew that I wasn't lying, but for some reason still was a part of these people yelling at me. What? So, like, if your mom believed you, why didn't she stick up? Sorry if that's not the type of reply that you were looking for, but that's the biggest thing I regret telling at the time. Hey, if you're willing to, share it and you're okay about it, that's cool. But, I mean, damn, it's crazy that your mom knew the whole time and she didn't do anything. Like, she could have saved your ass some drama. I'm just saying, Like, what the hell? She felt like she had nobody in her corner for a long time, I'm sure. And, like, her mom could have just been like, nah, it's cool, don't worry. Like, I believe you. Like, fuck what they have to say, Like, but she was pretending to be on their side. That's just weird. I once shared a secret about a job situation with a coworker thinking they'd keep it between us. Later, it ended up affecting my work environment because it got back to the boss. Lesson learned on keeping work-related stuff more guarded. Hey, look, man. When I'm at work, I don't know nothing. All right? Even when people tell me stuff, I don't know nothing. Let's be real. I know nothing. They come to me and they're like, oh, did you know about da-da-da-da-da-da-da? And I'm like, what? Wow. That's crazy. No, I didn't know about da-da-da-da-da-da. Dang. Shoot, man. That's the first I'm hearing of it, man. That's crazy. I mean, I know nothing at work, bro. I keep lips zipped and sealed. Even people are like, oh, don't tell nobody. Da-da-da-da. I'm just like, okay, all right, cool, man. And then I forget about it because forget these people, man. Nah, I'm good. I ain't trying to be a part of none of this, man. I ain't trying to be a part of none of this because to me, that shit is work gossip is probably the worst gossip to ever be a part of, if I'm being honest with you. It is, because once shit hits the fan, man, it sucks. And then you sitting there like, oh, I gotta go to work and deal with these people, you know what I mean? Like, nah, I just pretend I know nothing. I'm like, oh yeah? Oh what? That's the first I've heard. That's crazy. That's surprising. Couldn't be me, Like, I pretend like I know nothing. I don't know nothing. All right, let's get on to the next one. Letting myself get that comfortable with them to tell them a secret. Your best friend has a friend that's not your friend. Be careful what you tell others, man. It's so tough nowadays because it's so tough to just even have friends nowadays because I feel people are so selfish, and I think it's why, like, staying home and being to yourself is a more popular thing nowadays, just because people in general are just more selfish than I guess they used to be. I don't know. The camaraderie of friendship and loyalty is no longer a value that's kind of virtued anymore. And, it's tough because it's like you want to be able to trust people and, you know what I mean? You want to confide in people and stuff, but then they use it against you just because they want to be interesting to other people, and they feel like, it's not going to get back to this person anyway, and then it ends up getting back to the person, and that's what's really tough. Like, like a lot of times if I have secrets, it's friends. I talk to friends that I've known 10 plus years. I feel like I'm going to put a year limit on you. If we're friends for X amount of years, I would say at least 6, 7 plus, then I can start to trust you with like my actual inner thoughts and feelings on shit and be kind of truthful about certain things. Because other than that, man, you gonna get surface level me, and that's that, son. Because like I said, man, I just don't. I think the concept of camaraderie and friendships and loyalty is just, it's not as prevalent anymore. People are so into the gossip and the juiciness of it all. They want to seem interesting, so they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna blast it out there, and it's probably not gonna get back to that person anyway. I don't know. That's how I feel about it sometimes, but there's a lot of people that kind of back me with that too, because they're like, yeah, that's why I just stay home. Yeah, that's why I don't go out and really talk to people. Yeah, that's why I don't really do that. It's, all right. On to our next one. That I was essayed by my dad as a teenager. Damn. I didn't know how to deal with it or talk about it, but when I told a friend what happened to me, they started to treat me differently and not want to be around me / be my friend anymore. Made me feel worse about myself, so now I don't tell anyone anything. If a female friend told me that, I feel like I would treat her differently too, in a way of like, I would be trying to treat her like a delicate flower all the time. And, because it's like, God damn, for you to go through something like that traumatic, me being a dude and then her being a girl, I would just be like, holy shit, maybe I shouldn't say certain things, because then it might like trauma trigger her or something, or it might like trigger some memory to come back, and it might like fuck up her mood or how she looks at me. And that's kind of how I feel about it. I'd be like, damn, like, that's how I would be. And so yeah, in a way I would be treating her differently. And maybe I think that's how that person saw it, where they looked at it like, oh shit, like, I can't really look at you the same because I don't want to do something that's going to trauma response you or trigger you, or, you know what I mean? Where we used to have this open friendship where I could just kind of say anything. I could say some wild shit and you'd be like, haha, that's funny, But I guess at the same time, it's a conversation too, because I'm sure if they've gotten to a point where they're able to talk about it and, it's not as like trauma triggering, then I think they've gotten to a point where they're okay. They've accepted that it's happened and they're kind of moving past it. But I don't know. Every person is different. So I think you got to kind of talk to them about it. Yeah. But I think off the rip though, that's the immediate response I would have though, as being like, oh shit, let me watch how I talk to her that way, just in case, shit don't get weird, or, she's like trauma trigger to remember something, like, it just makes sense. Let's see. All right. I immediately thought of a time where I watched instant regret played out. Okay. I worked with a nice, well-mannered, but seriously naive young woman. She was trying really hard to force some coworkers to befriend one another by pushing them to reveal secrets to each other. Yes, all of that is a bad idea. I'm guessing that she thought this vulnerability would make them see the humanity in each other, and then poof, instant BFFs. That's not the way that works, but sure. Of course, no one shared their secrets and with an audience of their coworkers, so she confidently said, okay, I'll start. This very cute, churchy, very Christian girl, Autumn, type girl who never even swears, told us something so vile after her wedding to an equally churchy boy. They consummated their union. Well, all of the nerves of the wedding and wedding food and drink and dancing and losing their virginity, all of that stirred up their stomachs afterward. They lived in a studio apartment at the time, 1 bathroom. Well, she had to take a massive number 2 and it wouldn't flush. He needed to use the bathroom too. He just did his business on top of what was already in there. Oh, that's disgusting. Okay, it gets worse. They had an early flight scheduled for their honeymoon. 2 of the 3 weeks away in a romantic beach resort on the other side of the world in Indonesia, they figured out it was too late in the evening to call a plumber or the landlord, and they had to rest up for the early flight, so they let it sit. They woke up in the morning, presumably did their morning business in the very full commode, and left. For 2 to 3 weeks, she described the horror that awaited them when they returned to from their romantic honeymoon. It's like they thought that it would just resolve itself, so she just laughed it off, and she's telling us about the rank smell, the bugs, and all the other nasty shit that they had to deal with. She told this story as if this kind of thing would happen to anyone, like, ma'am. She looked at our horrified faces and realized that she fucked up and way overshared, especially when somebody asked why they didn't just go to the 24-hour Walmart or the Meijer near the studio apartment and get a plunger, snake, and Drano to fix the problem, and just slept on the 20-hour plane ride. She turned red and just whispered, just forget I said anything. I wish I could forget that. It's burned into my skull almost 10 years later. That is crazy. That is instant regret. Why? I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a funny story more than anything. You know, like, I wouldn't have been that disgusted. I would remember it just because it was hilarious. The fact that you guys left doo-doo in the toilet for literally 2 to 3 weeks, and then you guys came home acting like there wasn't gonna be an entire biome in your toilet. Like, what the fuck? That's wild to me. Oh my God. That is crazy. Yeah. Guys, you know, it's all good. Buy a plunger. You know what I mean? They're like $10. Buy a plunger, okay? And just fix your doo-doos. Fix your doo-doos, man. Don't leave them in the toilet. That's all bad. That's all bad. Fix your doo-doos, guys. Damn. All right, I'm going to do 2 more. I wish I hadn't told one of my best friends that I was developing feelings for her. We had always been close, but we really became reliant on each other after each went through a soul-crushing breakup within months of each other. We were talking on the phone every day and hanging out often. I was emotionally vulnerable, and I think that's when the feelings developed. I prefaced my confession by saying that if she didn't feel the same way, that was okay, just as long as we remained friends. She didn't take it well, probably because I selfishly dropped that bomb on her birthday. Ooh. Damn, that's tough, brother. The friendship effectively ended after that. We both since moved on with our lives. I got married to the love of my life 2 years ago. I invited my friends to the wedding, but she declined. She's engaged and is set to get married herself soon. I'm elated to see her so happy, and it's easy to see that the fizzling out of our relationship was likely for the best. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss her friendship. You know, facts. And I think every guy goes through that. Every guy goes through a point where, you know, you are like friends with a girl that you're like, I will never have feelings for you. And then you end up having feelings for her and you're like, oh, fuck. And then you tell her. And then evidently she doesn't see you that way. And so then you try to be friends with her, but you just can't, you know, and that sucks because it's like you want to go back, but you can't go back. You know, it's the toughest thing to ever do. And I think every guy goes through that, if I'm being honest with you. I think every guy has that one girl where he's just like, there's no way I'll ever have feelings for you. And then they do, and they're like, fuck. You know, and then they come to this crossroads where they're just like, do I tell her or do I just hide it and stay friends? You know what I mean? But even if you choose that I don't tell her and we stay friends, it's still going to come to a point where the feelings get so unbearable where you just have to. And it sucks because once you tell her that you have feelings for her, you are practically saying, I don't want to be your friend anymore. You know what I mean? It's what you're doing. You're practically saying, I don't want to be your friend anymore. I want to be more than that. And I cannot see you as a friend anymore. I just can't. I cannot, the moment I started to have feelings for you, I effectively was pretending to be your friend because I wanted to be more. And it sucks. It is the worst feeling. I've been there. I've been there multiple times, probably more than I can count on one hand, sadly. And it sucks. It really does. But a lot of times, you guys just splitting and going your own way is usually the best way to do it. I know every single time I've been in that situation, the only way it ever gets better is by not being friends anymore and just moving on. It sucks, but it's the truth. Damn, son. I am right there with you, brother. Right there with you. All right, this one's going to be our last one, and man, this one's going to be a deep one. Getting graped. Wow. It's happened to me twice. Dang. 23 years apart. The first time I went to the authorities, never again will I do that. The second time, the recent time, I went to my boss because it was a coworker and I really needed some time off to process. Ended up backtracking my statement to seem like a misunderstanding just to keep the peace. It's fucking terrible. Oh, wow. That is so fucked up how she went to the police and they didn't do shit. And then she goes to her boss and her boss even kind of downplays it. So she feels like, oh, let me just backtrack it. Oh, no, it might have just been a misunderstanding. Like, damn. And that's the toughest thing ever, man. It's like, girl, carry some mace. You know what I mean? Carry a taser or something because... oh, that must be just terrible to go through. And it really sucks because there will come a time when there's a guy that actually really likes her and she's just like, no, you just want to touch me where I pee and stuff. No, thank you. And he's like, no, I really like you. And, man, it just sucks, because that would create trust issues like crazy in a person. You know what I mean? Like she probably is like, I can't even trust, strangers and people I work with because of that, because her boss just sat there and was so nonchalant about it. Like, damn, I mean, again, just like the other girl, kudos to her that she's at a point where, she can talk about it and it's okay, for her. But man, that's tough. That is a tough one. Oh, goodness, you could have shared a bit of a lighter secret, like you didn't have to, open the whole can of worms, but hey, it's all good. If that's what you wanted to share, that's what you want to share. But that's going to go ahead and be that thread, man. Hope you guys enjoyed that juicy thread on this beautiful Sunday. We're going to blow through announcements really quick, and then I will hop into today's scenarios that you guys have sent in. Patreon.com/My Podcast, an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on Tuesday and Sunday episodes, just like these people did for today. The free Friday episode that we did, that one did very well, and it seems like you guys are really enjoying it. So like I said, if you are enjoying those kind of episodes, if you haven't seen the Friday episode, it's literally the previous episode to this one, so go ahead and check that episode out. And if you really like that episode and you're like, you know what, they doing it big over there on the Patreon, that might be worth my 3 schmeckles, go ahead over there and send your boy 3 schmeckles, and you'll have a ton of content just like that. Not just a few episodes, it's quite a bit. So get on over there, check it out. And then if you have some scenarios that you want to send into the show, go ahead and send them to me on Patreon, man. You can send them through Instagram or TikTok. It's just I don't really monitor Instagram and TikTok that often, so I don't get to those as much as I do the Patreon, because I look at it like these people are paying to do it. You know what I mean? Y'all niggas on the free end. But that's okay. If you want to support on the free 99 side of things, go ahead and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as YouTube. Thank you guys so much. I've been noticing the big jump in YouTube subscribers. That's super awesome. I do appreciate that. I think we jumped over what? It was like maybe 15, 16 in like the past, couple days. I was just like, wow, it was a big jump. I was very surprised. And I appreciate all of the support, man. I really, really do. But yeah, if you're an audio listener, keep downloading the show as well as rating it 5 stars if you haven't already. But that is the announcements. Let's go ahead and hop into today's scenarios. Hopefully you guys enjoy these. Our first one is, am I the asshole for telling my roommate that I'm going to have sex whether she is there or not? She like, I'm getting this coochie smashed out whether you're there or not. I don't give a fuck. All right. So for context, we're living in a school campus housing, and each individual has their own room in the 4-bedroom apartment. Basically, 2 of our roommates have graduated and 2 of us were left behind. My roommate is right next to us. As me and my roommate were discussing potential new roommates, I was talking to her about how we should apply the same rules about how it's okay to have guests over. Just let everyone know ahead of time. She agreed, but told me she has this boundary due to something that happened to her friend, in which if someone had a significant other, which I do, they are not allowed to have sex when anyone is home. I asked, what if we're trying to be quiet? And she laughed in my face and said, impossible. I asked if it's just her or when anyone is home. She said, anyone. The way she said it so sternly caught me off guard and made me feel inferior in that moment. Our conversation ended, and this didn't sit right with me because I don't think it's anyone's right to dictate whether you're intimate with your partner or not unless you share the same room. We pay the same amount to live in our own rooms, and I was also wondering why she decided to only say this now and not when every single person first moved into the apartment. And one of them happened to have a boyfriend as well, but she never stayed at the apartment. She is an older student in her mid to late 20s and also very Christian, and I felt like she was applying her own values or discomfort with sex onto me. The one time my boyfriend was over, everyone else was out of town, so I texted her the next day that we need to revisit that convo. The next day comes, I first asked her what happened to her friend that made her set up this rule. She replied saying that she thought about it and she was being a little unfair because what her boundary may be may not apply to our future roommates' boundaries. So as long as she isn't home, I can have sex. I told her that my boyfriend and I are long distance and I only see him one weekend every month or month and a half, so I'm gonna have sex regardless of her being home if I wanted to, and that if we shared a room or if it was being loud and obnoxious, that's an entirely different story. She looked caught off guard, but I left it at that. But I kind of want to revisit the conversation again and make it a point that I don't know whether she is in her room all the time. And it's literally weird for me to be worried about her and whether she is home or not when I want to be intimate with my partner, and that if the idea of sex alone makes her squeamish, then she needs to grow the fuck up. Should I? Am I the asshole? I don't think you're the asshole at all. Why? Because for one, that's your room, that's your space, you're paying to be there. So it ain't like, she paying for your rent or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm paying my own way, for one. And then for two, what I do in my room is my business, and what you do in your room is your business. You know what I mean? And then, look, I don't want to be that person, but, fuck your religious views, if I'm being honest with you. Like, look, if you want to be, Christian goody two-shoes, go ahead, do your thing. But don't try to push that on me, If that's your ideals, cool, have them, that's fine. But don't push them on me. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, that's mad disrespectful, Like, that, it makes no sense. That you're going to try to, like, dictate my life and how I'm going to live in my own place that I pay to stay. That to me is a little crazy, because it's like, and then on top of that, she's like, I don't see my mans that often. So boo-hoo if you have to deal with one weekend a month or month and a half of, us banging it out in my room. Like, you know what I mean? Boo-hoo. Go cry somewhere. Go to a coffee shop. Go get some boba. You know what I mean? Get out the fucking house then, if it's such a problem for you. Like, that's my biggest thing. It's like, don't push your problems onto me. Like, nah, I'm good. Like what I do in my room that I pay for is my business, and what you do in your room that you pay for is your business. Like, to me, I just think that's crazy. That is just crazy. Now, having boundaries for the common areas, totally understandable. Hey, don't fuck on the couch. Don't fuck in the kitchen or in the living room. That makes sense. Why? Because that's a shared space. But when it's my space and it's my area that I pay for, sorry, you can't tell me anything. You know what I mean? You can't tell me nothing. I don't know who you think you are. Unless you trying to pay my rent. You know, like you trying to pay my rent? Because if you trying to pay my rent, then okay. You know, but I don't think you're trying to do that. So, you know, you can go ahead and turn that conversation around and point it back that way. Because, nah. You know what I mean? And I think anybody would feel that way, you know, because they look at it like, I work hard to pay for this and to live here and all that kind of stuff. And you're going to tell me how to live in my own area? Like, what the heck? Like, and then on top of that, it's not like homeboy is over every day or every other day. Nah, he's over one weekend a month to a month and a half, you know? So it's like, dude, again, boo-hoo, you're gonna have to deal with a weekend. You know, like, come on, it's just a weekend. Like, chill out. That's just ridiculous. That's absolutely crazy to me. No, I do not think you're the asshole at all. I think she needs to just deal with it or go somewhere. You know, man, that's crazy. All right, on to our next situation. Am I wrong for getting upset that my girlfriend told me she took my phone to go through it? All right, I mean, what, you got something to hide? You know what I mean? Yeah, because, I mean, if my girl went through my phone, I'd be like, oh, cool. You know, I wouldn't care. Ain't nothing on there. But there must be something on there. Me, 31 male, and her, 26 female, have been together for over a year. Although I've known her for more than 2 years, we've lived together for about 3 months. She has 2 kids that she has sole custody of. Yesterday, I was downstairs cleaning up the kitchen when I realized I didn't see my phone anywhere nearby. I knew that I had a YouTube video playing in the background, but suddenly it had disappeared. I looked all over the place and I couldn't find it. I called it with my work phone and I couldn't hear it anywhere close by. I went upstairs and asked my girlfriend if she'd seen my phone, and she was on a phone call and said no. I went back downstairs and called it again, and that's when she said that it's upstairs. When I went up and asked her why she had it, she gave it back to me and said I wanted to go through it, and turned around and went back to her phone call. She had told me before that she wanted to go through it while I'm sleeping before, which I think is a violation of privacy, trust, and it's disrespectful. I have nothing to hide, but it's still wrong not to trust the person you sleep next to, especially since I have never given her a reason to be suspicious of me. I took my phone and went downstairs. After a minute, I went upstairs and I told her it's disrespectful to feel the need to go through it when I haven't given her a reason not to trust me. She said, okay. She said that in order to get a reaction out of me. I was pissed when she said that. I put on my shoes and drove down the street to clear my head. She took it as I'm leaving and deleting everything. I didn't want her to see, which was not the case. Okay. That me leaving made the situation 10 times worse, which I agree, but I just wanted to remove myself from the environment and get fresh air and think about what happened. I feel like we're both in the wrong, but I'm unsure of where to go from here. She thinks I'm hiding things, which I'm not. I told her that no matter if it's boyfriend/girlfriend relationship or a marriage, we still deserve to have some kind of personal privacy, and neither of us should violate that. I give her unquestionable trust, and it's sad I can't get that from her. I will never or have ever gone through her things, but she says she will always have the courtesy to go through mine. Oh man. See, now that's kind of messed up. Like, if you're going to go through somebody's shit, ask them. You know what I mean? Ask them. At least have the courtesy, as you say, to ask them. You know what I mean? Because then at that point it's like, oh, you know, you want Like, what for? Is everything cool? And it's like, oh, I just been feeling uneasy, this, and that. Da, 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 da. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. Here you go. You know what I mean? And I think that's a better way to go about it than just kind of taking his phone and then just going through it. But she didn't even go through it, though. She just kind of said that she did to get a reaction out of him, which I think that is ridiculous and it's very stupid. You know what I mean? It's like, why would you say that just to get a reaction out of me? Like, why are you trying to get a rise out of me? For what? That's really childish, if I'm being honest with you. You know what I mean? Like, what was the point in that? Yeah, I don't get that. I just think it's childish, if I'm being honest with you. Like, what is the point? Like, we're adults here. If you want to go through my phone, you can just ask me, and I'm not going to have a problem with letting you do that, because again, and I say this a lot because a lot of these stories come up where it's like a lot of girls say, oh my God, why can't guys communicate? Oh, why can't they communicate? And a lot of times it's like, well, because the girl does not communicate first. And in this situation is a golden example of this rule. It's like all she had to do, if she had her suspicions or whatever, if she wanted to see his reaction, she could have simply just asked. And then homeboy would have been like, yeah, no problem, here you go. And he would have she would have seen that. She would have been able to get the reaction that she was looking for, even if she would have asked. Like, if she would have asked him and then he's just like, what, why, what for? Then she would get that reaction and be like, oh shit, so you hiding something? Or if he's just like, nah, here you go. Then she's like, oh, okay, well, he must not be hiding anything if he's so willing to just give it to me. But instead, you want to do some stupid shit like this. And as a guy, that would piss me off too. It's like, bro, why are you trying to rile me up for no reason? Like, what the fuck is that? That's some bullshit to me. I would be so upset. Like, why are you trying to rile me up? And now, like, I'm all heated, so I'm going to leave. I'm going to separate myself. And honestly, I wouldn't apologize for leaving and separating myself to, collect my thoughts and get myself together so I can come to you, as in my logic mind and not my emotional mind. You know what I mean? Like, and you want to, like, get mad at me for leaving and taking some time to myself because you pissed me off. Like, come on. You know what I mean? That's a big thing. It's like, dude, again, it all goes back to the communication of things. It's like, if she communicated first, then he would have been able to easily give her that communication back. It's not like he was hiding anything. It's not like, he was only worried where his phone was because he thought, it might have been somewhere, or he lost it, or he might have, I don't know, thrown it in the trash by accident. Like, shit happens, So, but then he found it with her, and he was like, oh, cool. Whew. He was like, oh, I'm glad you found my phone, And then she had to say some dumb shit like that. Like I said, I think that's retarded, trying to get a reaction when you could have easily just asked him, hey, can I go through your phone? And got a reaction that way. I don't think he would have been as mad as he was if that's how you would have went about it. It's crazy. I don't know. It's like as if you were with your girl and then you went to go like talk to another girl somewhere, and then you come back to her and she's just like, what was that? And she's like, oh, I just talked to that girl to see how you would react. You'd be pissed. You'd be fucking mad. Like, why do that? Why go talk to that girl just to see how I'd react? You know what I mean? It's the same shit. It's the same shit. It's just the reverse of it. Like, let's be honest here. But let me know what you think in the comments. Is he wrong for getting mad? Like I said, I think she's the one in the wrong. It's like, dude, you didn't have to do all this just to get a reaction out of me. All right, on to our next one. I shouldn't have had sex with him. Maybe I'm just overreacting. Okay. I was ghosted by the guy that I spoke to for 8 months. I deleted my dating apps, but gave one guy a chance. Told him I was deleting my dating profile, but would still love to meet him. I thought our first date would suck, and it would just be hold on, and it would just a fun last time dating for a while thing. Okay. He turned out to be a sweetheart. We went on 4 dates in total in the span of 2 weeks, and he texted me the entire time he was on a guy's trip. Man, why would you look at it like, oh, this date's gonna suck? Like, are women not optimistic about going out with guys? Is that how you guys see going on potential dates with us? You look at it like, oh, this is gonna suck, but I'm just gonna go. Like, what? That like kills me inside, because it's like, it makes me think, what if I was talking to this girl and I set up a date and I'm like, oh yeah, be ready at this time. I'm gonna pick you up at this time. We're gonna have a good time, blah, blah, blah. In the back of my mind now, I'm gonna feel like, damn, this girl's gonna think this date is gonna suck. Damn. I don't know. I want to know, do you guys really do that? Because damn, that kind of hurts you, boy, a little. Shit. He even said, you're the only girl I'm talking to, and I really like where things are going. We had sex this past week on our 4th date, which was just casual after work, cuddling and watching TV. Otherwise, all of our other dates consisted of actual outings and dinner. He promised me he would come back and even asked if I am free this weekend when he left. We got coffee the next morning after sex. We've texted daily since then. He texted me good morning today, and I responded with the same. He didn't heart react to my message or respond, so I let time pass, and by 8 p.m. I said fuck it and texted him, how was your day? And it's been like an hour and no response. I get it. I can be clingy and overthink, but now my stomach is turning. I shouldn't have had sex with him. What if he never comes back? What if he never responds? I just want to be held one more time. I can't do this ghosting thing again. What? Ah. It could have been a thing where he was just putting in maximum effort to get the booty, and then once he got it, he was done. It could have been that. Either that, or it might have been a thing where he probably didn't feel as attracted to you as you think he did. It might have been a thing where he was just like gassing himself up like, man, this girl is great. She's this and that. I love hanging out with her, talking to her, blah, blah, blah. I'm super attracted to her. But then it might have been a thing where he might have saw you naked and then realized, maybe I'm not attracted to her as much as I thought I was. And I know that's shallow, that's fucked up, that's mean, that's, shallow and arrogant. You can throw all the insults you want at it because it's the truth. But I think that's what this guy was thinking. I think it was a thing where he was so about you. He actually did like you. He actually was attracted to you, everything. But I think it was a thing where he might have saw you naked and then thought to himself, I'm not attracted to her as much as I thought I was. And again, I'm not saying that he's what he's thinking is okay. I'm not saying that I'm not giving this guy any leeway or anything. I'm just saying that's probably what he's thinking. That's probably what happened. It might have gotten to a situation where he was all about you. He really did like you. But then he saw you naked and was probably like, oh, nah, this ain't for me, Chief. Again, I don't know, but I'm just giving you the male possibility, because a guy is never that much into a girl and then has sex with her and then just leaves. That just doesn't happen, especially for a guy. A lot of times, if a guy is only looking for sex, he's going to push for that sex as ASAP and as soon as possible. You know what I mean? He's going to push for it first date. But the fact that you guys were texting, hanging out, you guys had a few dates, this and that, you could tell he really actually did like you. I just think the sexual compatibility wasn't there on his end. It might have been there for your end, but I don't think it was there for his end. It might have just been a thing where he was like, we're not sexually compatible. I'm not really about that. I don't know if my penis can stay hard with her. You know what I mean? It sucks. Again, comment all the stuff, he's an asshole, he's shallow, he's arrogant, he's this and that, and and this is what's wrong with men. Do it all. It's fine. I know it's coming. I'm just saying. That is most likely what happens. Sucks. But, yeah, that's a tough one. Ooh. Again, let me know what you think about it in the comments. Sorry, girlfriend. All right. Let's get on to our last scenario for today's Beautiful Sunday episode. This episode, am I wrong for breaking up with my girlfriend over her gay best friend? All right, let's see what's up. I, 40 male, have been with my girlfriend for a couple of years. I am straight. A guy friend of mine, Don, is gay. I've known him for many years. Don recently divorced and moved to another city. He asked me if I would visit him. I said, sure. When I mentioned this to my girlfriend, she asked if she could come. I said, well, no, it's more of a guy's thing. Also, I think having her there would change the dynamic, making Don a third wheel. Plus, the invite was to stay at his place. She was never mentioned in the invite. I also mentioned that she often has girls' nights, and it would never occur to me to ask to come. I told her we could visit that city together another time. She told me she's suspicious of the whole thing, basically because Don is gay. I was like, are you kidding me? You're actually being homophobic. She mentioned that Don got along well with my ex and that he doesn't seem that interested in her. I went ahead and bought the train ticket the next day, and when I told her, she told me she would travel somewhere that weekend with a guy, drawing a hypothetical equivalency between the two. How is that the same? You and a guy going somewhere and me and my gay friend going somewhere. How the fuck is that the same? Now, if this was a female friend, okay, I could see that being a hypothetical equivalency, but that's not a hypothetical equivalency. That is you, straight woman, and a guy, straight male, hanging out, in quotations, platonically. And no, that's not the same. Like, what? There's potential for you guys to fuck. There's no potential for me to fuck. Like, what? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That is not a hypothetical equivalency. What the fuck? She said Don has a cock, so it's the same thing. And no, it's not. Okay. She said that Don once showed us some gay porn on his phone. Okay, I just don't think it's relevant as I'm not gay. And there has never been anything other than friendship between us. I told her she's being pathetic and that this isn't going to work out. She told me the whole relationship was a waste of time and she moved her stuff out. There were, of course, other problems in the relationship, but it seems this was the straw that broke the camel's back. Does anyone take her side on this? No, I really don't take her fucking side on this. I think she's really stupid. I do. I think she's retarded. I mean, that is the dumbest thing ever to get mad at. Like if I was dating a girl and I wanted to go hang out with my gay friend for the weekend, yeah, you're going to be okay with it. Why? Because it's my gay dude friend. Like, what? Like, there's nothing romantically there. And then if you're going to sit there and be like, oh, well, then how about I go hang out with, another guy then? It's like, what? Why? Like, what the fuck? No, like I said, I would understand 1,000% if this was a female friend. If this was a female friend, I'd be on her side. I'd be like, all right, look, man, that's a little suspicious. The fact that you want to go hang out on a weekend with a female friend and it's just you two. I don't know about that one there. But this is a gay friend. Like, And I'm sure Don, the gay friend, he knows that he has a girlfriend, that he's straight. Like, come on, man. You know, like, gay dudes aren't just horny for any dude that is around. Like, no. As a guy who has a best friend who is gay, trust me, we hang out with that dude all the time, and never once has he ever come on to me. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, let's be real here. Like they understand. They understand sexuality. Just because they're gay, for some reason people are just like, oh no, he's gay, he must be a fuck machine and he's just fucking on anything. There's any man butt that comes around him, he wants it. Like, no. Like, what? That's not no. Gay dudes aren't like that. A lot of gay dudes have preferences, you know, and what they like. They like a certain type of man. And a lot of times the guys they're friends with are just the guys that they're friends with. They're like, come on, man, what are we doing here? You know, and then she wants to conflate, like, him hanging out with his friend as like, oh yeah, well then that means I can go somewhere with some guy. And it's like, what? No. That's ridiculous. How in the hell is that equivalent? Just because they both have penises? That means nothing. And I would have just been like, good riddance, bro. Because you telling me of this hypothetical equivalent just tells me you're implying that you want to be with somebody else. Because if you really cared about me and you really loved me and stuff like that, you wouldn't be throwing these hypotheticals at me and all this kind of stuff. No, you would understand the situation for what it is and being like, oh yeah, okay, well, hey, you know, hang out with your friend, you go have fun. You would see nothing wrong with that as a girl. You would see nothing wrong with it. You'd be like, nah, he's hanging out with his gay buddy today, you know, for the weekend. That's cool, doing his thing. You know, like, I don't know. Again, I don't. She looks at it like gay dudes are just fucking any man butt that shows up and is in the vicinity. You know what I mean? When it ain't like that. I think she's being very arrogant. I really do. That's just ridiculous to sit there and say, oh, well then I'll just go on a trip with a guy. Like, that's crazy. That's a little crazy to me. Like, bro, true. Watch your girl. Because, you know, she might be getting into some shit. I don't know. Yeah. All right, that's going to be the end of today's episode, man. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Let me know what you guys thought about the thread for today, as well as all the scenarios we went through down in the comments. If you're triggered, let me know. If you think I'm wrong about some situations, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Get up in there, man. Hit your boy up. Again, patreon.com/myasshole podcast. Watch Friday's episode if you want to get a little taste of what we do on Friday, and if you like, you know, that episode, get on there, check it out, man. And then if you want to help us out on the free 99 side of things, follow us on YouTube, Instagram, as well as TikTok, man. Get over there, giving us a follow helps out a lot, and it's for free. And you don't want to know what else is free? Downloading the podcast as well as rating it 5 stars, man. I appreciate you guys so much. Love you all. I also have a playlist in I'll put it in the description, but I do have a playlist for all of the free Patreon episodes. So if you guys want to watch all the free Patreon episodes that I've done since January of this year, go ahead and you can go through that playlist, check out all those episodes, man. And I'll go ahead and have that in the description of this episode, so that way you guys can check that shit out. All right. I love you all. I will see you on Tuesday for another crazy episode. And then I'll see you on Thursday for our book. And we'll be doing chapters 19 and 20. Also, this Sunday and next Sunday will be the last consecutive Sunday episodes that I will be doing. After next Sunday's episode, I will be taking a break off of Sunday episodes. I'm going to be doing every other week instead of every week. Again, I've said this in previous shows, but just in case, we got some new people coming in here or whatever the case may be, and, they see like how much content we've put out, and then now we're kind of like, it seems like, what? Oh, why is the lack of content all of a sudden? Your boy, he works full time. I got a lot on my plate right now, so I just kind of want to take every other Sunday off. I'm also going to try to start streaming, me just playing games, and have you guys in the chat and we talk or whatever. Maybe play some games together or whatever the case may be. I'm going to start doing that on Fridays and Sundays. I'm still trying to set that up and get it going. I should have it done by next weekend. By next weekend, I should be ready to go, and I'll probably start my first stream the next weekend. So look out for that. And without further ado, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Peace.